Since I was little, I've always been an anxious child, constantly hyperfixating on the things and people around me to ensure they were not a threat. To calm my anxiety, I would learn everything I could about whatever was making me anxious. This is exactly what happened after President Trump ordered the assassination of Iranian General Soleimani, and ideas of a third world war began spiraling throughout the media. I learned everything I could about the US draft, learning how likely I'd be to get drafted based on my birthday, and many ways to avoid the draft. Becoming an expert on random topics is something I've done my entire life to cope, and is still a part of my coping mechanisms today. My hyperfixation was once again brought into the light after the January 6th storming of the US Capitol this past year. 2 years. I remember watching in horror, constantly reloading Twitter and news sites, trying to find out everything I could about what was unfolding in front of my eyes. Throughout my search, I kept seeing one word: QAnon. QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory that believes in the idea that Trump is waging a war against evil. I felt helpless, so I did the only thing I knew how to do. I researched it. I learned everything I could about QAnon, leading me down the rabbit hole to other intriguing conspiracy theories. Throughout my search, I kept coming back to one question: what makes someone believe in these theories? I have found that conspiracy theories can be arranged on a scale. On the first end of the scale, you have those theories that cause people to laugh. And on the second end, you have those theories that have real-world consequences. On this first end of the scale is where we find conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists like David Icke. David Icke is a strong believer in something known as the reptoid hypothesis. He was a former UK Green Party spokesperson and a soccer player. The reptoid hypothesis is the idea that a group of alien lizards are secretly controlling humankind and its destiny. To Icke, all trusted public officials are a part of this reptilian Satanist group that has been on Earth for centuries. On a broadcast, Icke proclaimed that he was the Son of God and that the world would end that year. Icke also believes that the moon is a hollowed-out planetoid space station from which our minds are controlled. The political elite lizards own Death Star. When I first heard of Icke's theories, I thought there was no way they could be true. And many people believe the same thing as me, meaning that his theories haven't spread that far into the mainstream media. But as I mentioned before, there's another end to this scale, and this end is where we find QAnon. Before I go into how QAnon spread, I want to define some terms that are key in understanding the rest of my presentation, or what I like to call my conspiracy theory terms 101. So, first off, what is a conspiracy theory? A conspiracy theory is a theory that rejects the popular explanation for an event and instead credits it to a covert organization or operation. As I mentioned before, QAnon is a far-right conspiracy that believes in the idea that Trump is waging a war against evil. 4chan is one of the most extreme message boards where users can go and post anonymously, and a moderator is a team of referees on 4chan who can ban people who post illegal content. I also want to emphasize that my goal in this presentation is to not condemn those who believe in conspiracy theories, but to instead explain what psychologically leads us to believe in these theories. Oftentimes, the media portrays that everyone who believes in a conspiracy theory is crazy, and this is not the case. I urge you to leave all of your preconceived notions behind and really listen to my words. Even I have been subject to believe in a conspiracy theory, like the idea that Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson are dating, and that Mattress Firm is just a front for a money laundering business. All of these beliefs that we believe in fall on that scale that I mentioned earlier. No matter what end of the scale your beliefs may fall on, the reason why we believe in conspiracy theories are very similar. I encourage you to think about how these reasons may affect your life. In 2017, 2 moderators and a YouTuber kick-started QAnon's journey into the light. The YouTuber and moderators handpicked an anonymous and cryptic post from the many conspiracy theories that populated the website's message boards and caused this conspiracy to spread. This conspiracy that the YouTuber and moderators chose turned into QAnon. Part of the appeal of QAnon is due to the fact that it's game-like. Followers anxiously await for the cryptic clues left by Q on the message board, analyzing them along with Trump's speeches, news articles, and tweets. All this analysis is ordered to validate the narrative that Trump is waging a war against evil. Q claims to be a high-ranking military official. Believers of QAnon feel that Donald Trump was recruited by top military officials in 2016 to run for president and break up this criminal conspiracy. Q claims that this war Trump is waging would culminate in something known as a storm, an appointed time when Donald Trump would unmask the cabal, bring its members to justice, and restore America to greatness. In 2017, two moderators of the 4chan website reached out to Tracy Diaz, a small-time YouTuber who discussed conspiracy theories. Diaz banded together with the two moderators in order to create a bigger following for QAnon, leading to even bigger followings for themselves. Just 6 days after the first post by Q, Diaz posted a YouTube video discussing the conspiracy theory. From there, QAnon spread to Reddit, where a community was created called CBTS Streams, otherwise known as the calm before the storm. This move to Reddit was key in helping the conspiracy theory to spread. There, it was able to tap into a larger audience of conspiracy theories and eventually leading the theory to spread to Facebook, where it found a new, older audience. One of the moderators created a constantly streaming YouTube network known as the Patriot Soapbox, full of a changing group of volunteers who were self-described researchers. This YouTube network was a broadcast of a Discord chat room with a changing group of moderators and volunteers. When I first heard about QAnon spread, I kept coming back to one question that would not leave my mind. Why? Why do people believe in these theories and things that I feel are impossible to be true? I found that one reason why is because of rumors and speculation. Oftentimes, conspiracy theories can bubble up spontaneously, but other times they are spread intentionally by people seeking to gain things like money and power. Diaz has mentioned in her blogs that although one of the goals was to spread QAnon, another one of their goals was to create a bigger following for themselves. And although not openly admitting it, Diaz and the moderators also strive to gain money from this exposure by constantly encouraging their followers to donate to their Patreon and PayPal accounts. Another reason why conspiracy theories can spread is due to something known as the bandwagon effect. Oftentimes, the first person to believe in a conspiracy theory is that one who has a low threshold of acceptance. Often this informational pressure builds and people with even higher thresholds begin to accept the theory, leading to a widespread acceptance of falsehoods. This can be seen in the way that QAnon spread from the fringe site 4chan to other more well-known sources of media, like Facebook. As QAnon began to pick up steam, many people became skeptic of the motives behind Diaz and the moderators. Many pro-Trump online groups have pointed to a series of slip-ups that they say indicate that Diaz and the moderators have been involved in the theory from the start. Oftentimes, in crisis situations, we change the way we think. We become anxious, and to calm this anxiety, we learn everything we can about whatever is causing the anxiety, leading us to create intricate theories related to the crisis. As well as wanting control in crisis situations, we let our emotions cloud our judgment and turn to those we trust, unable to calm our nerves, often looking towards authority figures. We believe in what these authority figures say, no matter if what they say is supported by facts or not. Another reason why we believe in conspiracy theories is due to confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is a cognitive bias where individuals will only listen to the information that supports their previous beliefs. This causes us to continue believing in a conspiracy theory despite multiple pieces of evidence disproving them. This causes us to create a bubble around ourselves that constantly reaffirms those beliefs. This bubble keeps us in the dark, hiding us from the true information. If you do not gather anything from my presentation, my one urge for you is to look at the people and news sources around you. Are you constantly being exposed to information and news sources that reaffirm your beliefs? If so, I encourage you to look beyond what you're comfortable with and expose yourself to different sides of the story in order to see the truth.